there was this tweet. You know, people have been doing these, which are like confessions that get your X or Y card revoked. And I thought this is an interesting idea, right? It's just like post stuff that other people will be pissed about. Basically expose yourself on Twitter, right? And Max quote tweeted it and said, fighting games should be more focused on fun and interesting mechanics along with unique character gameplay elements and focusing on balance and competitive aspects. Hot take, huh? I think all of us agree with it. But it's funny because I was thinking about the roundtable, the FGC roundtable that the Japanese devs did. And I was like, damn, man, what we really want is a dope looking game that looks fun and has cool stuff and is visually interesting. You can try to have as much foresight as you want when you create a fighting game, but like, let's be honest, people are gonna do shit with characters that you didn't expect at all. And also, even in the pursuit of balance, some characters are gonna end up stronger than others. It's just the nature of the game, right? And you have to decide which characters you're okay with just doing stuff and seeing what sticks, you know? I think the developer roundtable, they talked a lot about simplification and new players and other things like that, right? To be honest with you, I really wish in that roundtable, the people who tuned in, a lot of them are going to be players who really love fighting games. I wish they had just talked about the things that make their game dope and things that make other people love their games. If you want people to try out your game, it's gotta be sick. Like, that's all there is. It's a weird thing to say, but it's got to be sick. It's got to be fun. The characters have to look interesting. The game has to have stuff to bring you in that's not just, hey guys, we try to build a really balanced game. Like, that's not a sales pitch that's going to win people over. All right, can I be honest? Maybe this is my version of confessions that'll get my FGC card revoked. I don't even know who Akira is. I know she was in rival schools. I get it, right? However, everybody's retweeting and liking all the fan art of her holding a motorcycle helmet. She looks fucking sick. Name 3 characters from rival schools. School's rival, and rival schools. Is that all 3? I think I got all 3. I nailed it. Those are probably the protagonists, right? In talking about this, I was just thinking about like opinions about fighting games that like maybe other people don't share. You know what I was thinking about today? Most lobbies in fighting games are trash. There's so many bad lobbies and so many bad games. And I think my confession is that if your game doesn't have instant rematch or a good lobby, I don't really want to play it. I don't even know if that's like a confession, but dude, I struggle so much when a game doesn't have instant rematch or a game doesn't have a lobby where you can have multiple sets at the same time. Like, even KI's lobby these days is so bad. I'm trying to play on KI's lobby after playing on like Power Rangers or Schoolgirls lobbies is like, for me, when it comes to lobbies, like, I need a couple of things. One, I need a code you can set that people can join in on without having to search your name or invite you or whatever. I need it to be able to support multiple games at the same time. I need it to have spectating that doesn't explode. Like, I don't know why so many of these spectating clients like speed up and slow down and do all this weird stuff. Like, just have regular spectating in it. I don't understand it. Yeah, training mode also being able to happen during it is great. Guilty Gear lobby is great for that. It's not as clean as some of the newer lobbies. It's much older, obviously, but having training mode in the lobby is really nice. Not having to leave, go training mode, and then come back is good. I don't think that's a hot take or a confession. I'm just using it to spout FGC opinions. Your hot take is I enjoyed DBFZ more than UMVC3. That's fine. I know that some people would be pissed about that. I loved both games, so, you know, I got you. My confession, I like the concept of breaking falls for more neutral. What do you mean by breaking falls? Breaking walls? Oh yeah, burn that guy. Someone ban that guy. I was like playing some Street Fighter with people in the Discord and I was talking with them and somebody in the Discord was like, I don't know if this is just me, but I can't just play one game. I play so many different fighting games, and because of that, I feel like I can't sit and focus on playing one game and getting really good at it. And I was like, you might be one of, like, you know, I don't know, the 85% of people that are like that. Like, there's so many fighting game players, especially now, who are willing to try anything. And so every day they're like, you know what? I'm going to learn Melty Blood today. You know what? I'm going to learn this game today. Like, fighting game fans now are really open to playing a lot of different games. It didn't used to be like that, by the way, which is dope to me because I've always liked to play a lot of games. You know, one thing that I will say that I think is my FGC opinion, it's not really a confession, but my opinion is that people have turned training mode into a great evil instead of realizing it's actually a really useful thing to have. There's this weird thought about training mode as training mode being a great barrier to playing fighting games. If you ever hear people talk about fighting games, they say you have to go to training mode and spend 3 hours playing the character before you're allowed to go online. You have to go in there and learn all your moves, learn all your combos, learn all this. You have to do, and I've talked about it before, but fighting games are not like an amusement park. There's not like your combo must be this long, or your combo must do this much damage, or you must be able to anti-air and stop, and you have to know every character in the game before you're allowed to go online. There's not like a Carney standing there with a sign. Yeah, I played Melty Blood. I have no idea what any single system mechanic in the entire game is. And I know one combo that I hit 50% of the time, and I had a blast. I went online, and I had a great time. Training mode is where you go when you have a problem, right? You don't go to training mode to learn everything in the game. You go to training mode to find a solution. That's it. It doesn't have to be a place you spend a lot of time. If you ever watch me learn a new game, I go to training mode to try a new character and learn them. And I pick a character, I learn like one poke, one anti-air, one combo. And I'm like, all right, my training mode is done. Let me jump in. I go play online, and while I'm playing online, I run into issues. I have no idea what's happening with this character. I don't know a move that does this. I don't know what's happening. So then I come back, and in training mode, I start to work on those problems that I'm having. I was thinking about this for Melty Blood, right? I was trying to learn Melty Blood. I was in training mode messing around and stuff. I went to play my very first match of Melty Blood. You can't air block grounded normals. I didn't know that. It's just, you know, it's just how it works. Some anime games you can air block grounded normals, and some anime games you can't. It depends on the game. So I didn't even think about it. I was just like playing the game, and I was like, oh. It didn't even come to my mind. I was talking to Inful about this last night, about training mode. You guys know Inful, the guy that made literally the Killer Instinct Bible. He's like, you know, I've written the most detailed guide to every single character in Killer Instinct, and I'll go play online and be like, what the fuck moves does this character have? He's like, I have to open my own guide to be like, what moves does this character even have? What's good about this character? He's like, I don't remember. I was like talking to him about it last night. He's like, yeah, I'll make it 4 matches in as playing Arbiter and be like, oh yeah, he's got a gun. That's like his main thing. He has a fucking gun. He's holding it while he fights. And he's like, oh yeah. And he's like, I should start shooting. So he just starts jumping and shooting. He's like, yeah, I forgot. I mean, that's very natural, right? But that's the thing, is you go to play these matches to figure out what your problems are. Training mode is for finding solutions. People get so weird about you have to spend time in training mode. They forget that training mode is there to help you. It's a tool to help you out. You got to be a little bit more creative. No one wants to use a tool until you really need it. You know what I mean? It's like a plunger. Like, no one ever wants a plunger until you fucking really need a plunger, right? Training mode's a plunger. And you go out there, and what ends up happening is your toilet gets clogged and you have to come back. See, now doesn't training mode sound better? It's largely people, you know, those people who do video essays, you know the type. They're like, the problem with the fighting game genre is that largely it hasn't evolved to keep up with modern times. Things like complex motion commands, lack of online play, lack of free-to-play genres, and really not a way to keep the player coming back has prevented this genre from going. You know those people that make those videos? None of them know how to play fighting games, but in those kinds of videos, they say things like, training mode is where you have to spend 900 hours before you're allowed to go online. Training mode is where you have to spend tons of time learning complex commands and combos before you're allowed to go play online against someone who's gonna beat you anyway. Fucking shut up, dude. That doesn't matter. If you want the opinion of someone who learns a real fighting game, you go to training mode for like 10 minutes and you're like, okay, that's cool. And then you go play online. Until you have issues, until you have problems, you can't use it to find solutions. Even though that MOBAs have like training mode now, and they have like sandbox modes where you can try stuff, that shit happens all the time. You're like, oh shit, the one hero I know how to play got taken. And you're like, what does this guy's moves do? You click them, you read the abilities for the move, you're like, I'll figure this out. And you just go into the match. I can't even tell you the number of times I've done that in a MOBA. And then people flame you. And they say you're trash and they hate you and you're like, damn it, I tried. Listen. You know, when I was young, there's a lot of jobs I've wanted to do in my life. I thought being a weatherman seemed like the easiest job in the world. I would love to do it. Just point at the screen. As you can see here, the winds are blowing in from this direction. They're coming that way. Means they're headed east. And I'd have to change my name. Like if I was a weatherman, I'd be Stormy Skies. Stormy Skies is a porn actress. We might have to rethink this. Steven Storms. That'll be my name. Porn names, wrestling names, and weather names are all interchangeable. I agree.